Hi, my name is Kristen. I am going to talk about technology as far as electronic technology, so cell phones, iPads, iPods, tablets, Kindles, things like that. Um, Although I'm aware there are many different types of technologies that shape our society, those seem to be the ones that are more socially used today. Um, I would like to think of my real life self to be the same as my digital identity. Um, the person that I am day to day is represented through my social media accounts. And I think social media is more of a common thing that electronic technologies provide access to everybody or whoever has an account. Personally, I have a Facebook and Instagram account, um, and who I am on those I am the same in real life. I don't feel the need to be any different. I try to represent myself as a well rounded person, whether I'm talking through email to somebody. I work in a school, so I communicate a lot with parents through email, staff, things like that. So I really try to be professional and carry that through in my day to day life as well because I feel like being more professional not only will benefit me in my career, it just seems to be more easy to talk to people in that sense. Not to say that I'm a different person with friends or family. I tend to be um, easy to talk to and easygoing, but when it comes to putting myself in a position where I need to communicate with professionals, then I really like to kind of make that more of a day to day aspect of my life. Um, Technology allows me to express different dimensions of my personality in the sense that with my social media accounts, I can take pictures with my cell phone and post them to my pages. I have two nephews that I like to take a lot of pictures of. So people that I'm friends with can kind of see the happiness that they bring me. You never know if it brightens up somebody else's day like it does to me. Um, so I think those are some benefits as far as people getting a better sense of who I am and what I'm like in real life as opposed to just seeing words that I may write on Facebook every once in a while. When I was younger, maybe high school, and when I started college, I was probably a little bit different because I wasn't really thinking, oh, nobody looks at my social media account, so why bother caring? That was kind of a bad attitude for me to have, so I lost my father last September. So after he passed, I really took a grasp on my own life and my future and what I saw for myself, and I realized how important being caring more and being more of a professional would benefit me in the long run. And so far, it's been helpful. Um, I think my views have changed a lot as far as social media goes, as far as electronics go. Um, I've never been one to depend on any kind of electronic to keep me busy unless I'm bored, which is a bad habit. I've noticed that when I am bored, I find myself constantly on my cell phone and trying to figure out what it has to offer me, whether I'm on Facebook, Instagram, email, any kind of thing to keep me busy, which Candy Crush. Candy Crush is my guilty pleasure. So I don't want to have to do that. I feel like I wish that it wasn't such a prevalent escape, I guess you could say. I don't, I actually find it gross that I find myself so engrossed in my phone and my Kindle is another thing. You know, anything that'll keep me busy when I could be focusing more on school or focusing more on my job and things like that. Sometimes, even when I'm the most professional I can be in person, I feel like maybe I perform a little bit more on my accounts just because you never know who's looking. Not to say that I'm being a fake person, it's more of potential employers, things like that. You never know who's looking at your account, and I never want to be perceived as somebody who doesn't care, somebody who lets anything go on their page that might be offensive or that might turn somebody away from offering me a job. That's just not an option for me. I feel like that's one of the most important qualities of having a social media page, so that if a person is looking into you to hire you or whatever the case may be, that they can see that you're not, having parties and, caught places that really represent you in a negative way. Um, for the most part, like I've said, I'm equally the same person, aside from maybe performing a little bit differently on my page as far as employment goes. You never know who's looking at your page, so you always want to be careful. As far as putting myself in a public aspect of technology, I'm, as I said, I'm well aware that you're in a public place, anybody can look, anybody can see, and that can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, depending on how you use it. I feel like everybody acts a little bit differently in public situations, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't. I try to keep my beliefs and, everything that I have going true to myself. I never want to be somebody different, and I don't want anybody to think that I am two different people, because it's just not who I am. My digital identity has a little effect on my personal self. Having said that, I really would like to work on the being bored part, and not depending on my cell phone or Kindle or things like that to keep me busy. I actually wish that I didn't have these technologies available to me. I thought it was interesting in the textbook. They talked about the ways of the Amish and how they did things differently and how they continue to do things differently. But it was interesting. One of the Amish men quoted, "We realize that the more modern equipment we have and the more mechanized we become, the more we are drawn into the swirl of the world and away from the simplicity of Christ and our life in Him." And I really thought that was interesting, because life is simple without worrying about technology and having it as a, constant in your life. It's just not something that, I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't call my mom or something like that, or text my sister to see how my nephews are doing, things like that. But when it comes to Candy Crush and Facebook and things like that, I just don't see that being so overwhelmingly important. And I think maybe I'd like to get back to focusing more on interpersonal relationships and things like that, and just focusing more on important things in general. So yeah, that's me on my electronic technology. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.